that the American Medical Association, its ranks only include about 28% of the doctors in this country. That's number one. And the registered nurses ought to be angry with their union, not their union, but their leadership as well, because they weighed in. They got bought off somehow. I don't mean illegally, but somehow they got bought off by Obamacare. And now the head of the Nurses Association and the RNs, I don't know what they call it, but they're looking at RNs, and believe me, I have a special place for RNs. I really do. It's not that I respect LPNs as well. But you need those RNs in that hospital to get the job done right. They'll be laying off the licensed practical nurses before it's all over with. And then, again, the others who work in the hospital, and watch out for the spread of staph infection and C. difficile, which is an extremely, extremely difficult thing to get rid of. And it can be deadly. In fact, they both can be deadly. But you have to look at who endorsed Obamacare. And I think the big major domos in the Nurses Association did. Why aren't they being asked stories by these journalists in Washington? They call themselves journalists, but they're actually, they just carry water for the Obama administration. The NBC is the absolute worst. Nice Barack comments. It used to stand for the National Broadcasting Company. CBS isn't doing such a great job either. And I must say ABC as well. Washington, the journalists there, I would say 85% of them are liberal. It shows in their work, and the vast majority of them voted for Barack Hussein Obama. Not once, but twice. But what really, really, really gets me is that those folks of you, and I know Mark has a large audience in general of people of all ages, and that means a lot of people who are 65 years of age or older. And you ran out a second time and voted for him, even though the Democrats and Barack Obama cut your Medicare by $714 billion, B as in billion dollars, and they want to cut it even more. And you may not have felt the pain yet, but eventually you will. When Aunt Minnie, who's 74, can't have the new hip hip's got to go to someone who ran across the border at age 54 last night and is an illegal. Aunt Minnie doesn't get the hip. The illegal will get the hip because he's younger. It's just terrible. It's got to go, and I hope somehow we can defeat it. And again, it is a product of the Democratic Party. Let's go to Scott in San Francisco, listening in over KSFO. Scott, how are you?
Yeah, I was just calling in. I was listening to you from the get-go, and I think a lot of people obviously need to be reminded that the Democrats wanted nothing to do with the mandate concept that's the basis for Obamacare now, and that it was a part of every Republican who wanted health care reform back in 2008, including both McCain and Romney. And when you say that Republicans had no input into health care, it's just
none.
It just stinks of disingenuousness.
Scott, hold on right there. The bill passed in 2009. I personally know from a Democrat member of Congress, who is not going to go public with it now, that the Republicans were not in on not a single negotiation. This was segregated. Republicans not allowed to put anything into it. The mandates, by the way, keep getting extended, but you know why? Because they're not ready. The rollout, which has been a disaster from software work, and Obama's friends have got taken care of there, just like they did with the stimulus money. The rollout has been a disaster. In the states, it's a disaster. I still don't think anybody in Oregon signed up. The state where I live, Maryland, has taken millions from the federal government. They have one of the most screwed up health care exchanges in the entire country, and the federal health care exchange isn't that good either. It can be cracked in 14 minutes by an expert. So